Okay. All right, Loretta.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day, Lord. I pray that you would be with us as we're talking about things that are best for our business, Lord. And I pray that you would guide us and be with Meredith and Aubrey as they share. Lord, I pray that you would protect each and every one of our families, Lord, that you would just help us to look for ways to be your hands and feet and to serve you more every day. Thank you so much for loving us. Thank you for Jesus. In his name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, we are recording, and this workshop is not original to me. I learned it from some training that I got from Emily Gibson, but I really like it, and I wanted to share it with y'all. And just interestingly enough, I was having this conversation with Gina and Casey the other day, and I was saying that I still get nervous when I do things. And they're like, "What?" Y'all,
Guys.
I bet Meredith does too. Actually, I know Meredith does because she messages me, but I get nervous when I send messages. And I'm nervous about this presentation, not because I don't think y'all are going to be mean or anything, but I value your time. And so I want it to be anytime that y'all are giving me your time and your attention, I want it to be meaningful. So I made a PowerPoint and we're going to try to share it. So let me see how that works. We're going to share the screen here and then we're just going to get to it. Let me click. This is going to be special. Um, I'm going to try.
I didn't turn it on.
I don't know what it's gonna do. Can y'all see? It's black right now. Okay. What do y'all see? Do y'all see my notes? Is it big? Do y'all see the extra pictures at the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they changed that I don't exactly know how to fix it. So let me try one more thing real quick. And if I can't figure it out, we're just gonna get rid of it. I was watching somebody explain it and I probably should have sat down and took notes. We're gonna do present full screen. Okay. Now, good? Okay, perfect. I just wasn't sure if I could still see your faces, and I like faces. Okay. All right. So this is the December 27th list workshop. And oh, it's letting me go. Oh, I have transitions. That was not on purpose. I used a pre-made one. I don't know how to do this. Okay. First of all, and I can only see like 5 of you. So y'all are gonna have to just shout out if you want to say something. But I want to know a few thoughts that you have about working your business in December. Like when I say, okay, it's December, let's work our business. Like, what are some thoughts you have that start running through your heads? Do you have, like, just what thoughts go through your head? Happy, sad, stressed, anything? What goes through your head?
Well, December is going to be a slow month anyways because nobody wants to spend any money on supplements in December.
Woohoo! Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I can still see the chat. Okay. Oh, I can't see you anyway, but thank you, Christine. I like faces. Stressed. Okay, Casey, that's actually an emotion. We'll get there, but what other thoughts do you have? Like, why are you stressed? Why is it stressful? Okay. No, oh, she's chatting. Oh, Christine wants to be an ambassador because of the cruise. Awesome. Congrats, Christine. Okay, no time. All right, I'm so busy. How will I fit this in? I don't have enough time to do all the things. Those are some of the key ones I feel like we think in December. This is going to be a slow month. I'm not going to hit my highest points ever. I might hit my lowest points ever. People aren't going to want to order. People are going to push out their subs, all the things, right? And on the other side of that, I don't have time to do all the things. Does anybody else think like, well, I have to choose working my business or making the memories with the kids? Like, I'm going to have to sacrifice some of the memories to work my business. Do we have any of those thoughts? I see some head nods from my first little pictures here. So yes, those are all thoughts. And the cool thing about thoughts is you get to choose what thoughts you have, but we're going to get there. So when you have a thought, your thoughts create emotions, and your emotion is like a one word feeling. So when you have the thought that it's going to be a slow month, Meredith, what emotion does that make you feel?
Helpless.
Helpless. That's a really good one. Or stress or anxiety or depression or whatever. When you feel like I don't know how I'm going to get all the things done. Again, those are those bring some stressed thoughts. I feel like a lot of us have stress and kind of like frustration and maybe a little bit of even depression, or like, I'm trying to think of the word. It's like it's a negative feeling, but like overwhelm, and then feeling like discouragement. That's it. Discouragement was the word I was thinking of. So we've got to work on those thoughts, because if we're having those thoughts, then our actions are going to be chosen. You act from your feelings. So if you have negative feelings, you're going to act from those negative feelings. So we're going to work through those thoughts, and I'm going to give y'all some new ideas and some new thoughts to help you. Oh, uh-oh. Why is it not going to the, oh, nope. There we go. Okay, we're going back. Hold on. Thoughts. Okay, people are too busy and I'm too busy. We got that. People don't have any money. People don't want to buy anything. We did that. Okay, moving on. But the truth is, we know people will make time for what they want, including you. You can make time for what you want to do. People find money for what they want. And actually, she said this in her workshop, and it's true. People really like want to buy things in December. Like, I mean, I always am like, oh, well, people won't want to buy because they're buying for Christmas. No, like, just me personally, I'm in this mood where I just want to buy everything. And I keep having to tell myself, Aubrey, no, you don't need that. Stop. But like, I really want to buy things. I think it's because we're bombarded with sales everywhere. And I'm one of those that if it's on sale, I want it, even though I don't need it at all. So I'm a really big target for these sales emails. Like, I'm like, oh, I think I need this now. I mean, it's terrible, but people actually love buying in December. Those are thoughts too. These are actually thoughts that you can choose as well. Okay. Whoops. It's going back. Oh, okay. So the first step to mega sales in December is make sure you're still posting. Okay. And when you're posting, I'm checking my time here. Okay. One of the best things you can do in December, and if you're doing the 4-day message challenge with us that Emily also is running, it fits right along with what she taught here, that a great thing to do in December is to post your own story. Go back to where it started. I was talking to Meredith today about somebody on her team that was struggling with something. And I said, well, I wonder what it was like in the beginning. What was going on? What thoughts was she having in the beginning that caused the results that she had? Okay, so go back to the beginning. What made you so excited to share? What did Plexus do for you? What did the products do for you? What did they do for your family? What did they do for your husband? And not just, oh, they healed my gut. Great. That's not a story. No, I was struggling with, like, me. I wanted to lay on the couch. I didn't plan play dates. I couldn't wear any clothes that didn't have the maternity band, and my child was almost 1. So I should have been moving on from the maternity clothes, but I didn't have any clothes I could wear that weren't stretchy. And so I wore the same ugly things to church every week. And finally I wore something cute, and people are like, whoa, what happened? Because I could wear the clothes again. Like, so think back to what Plexus did for you, has done for you, and how that's affected your life. One of the things that she mentioned in the challenge was, think about how it's made the holidays better for you. And it can be products and it can be business. So think about your own story and share your own story with gratitude. Also, as you're sharing your story, especially if you're sharing a business story, but just keep in mind that people are skeptical. You were skeptical too. I guarantee. I don't think anybody on this team joined without being skeptical. Like, if you did, then I want to know, because I want to find more of you. But it's just, it just doesn't happen. Like, we're skeptical. And so if you're posting, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful that I can buy this with my Plexus income. Don't stop there. Take it one step further and say, you are probably thinking, well, she's some special unicorn and I can't do something like that. And I just want you to know I had that thought too. And now I'm here, and you can be here too. So recognize, like, I always tell my team, address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room, like, people are like, well, how do I say that? I'm like, say it. Like, if there's an elephant in the room, be the first to point it out and say, I know you're skeptical. I wrote down a few notes about that. Oh, yeah. Okay. You might be thinking, I don't have time. You might be thinking, I just got lucky. You might be thinking, these things never work for me. You might be thinking, I tried all the things. You might be thinking, I can't be consistent. But what you need to know is, I thought that too. And I found, and this is different. So you're basically saying feel, felt, found without saying feel, felt, found. But you're making your post more relatable and about them than just like, oh, look at me. My life is so good because of Plexus. They're going to go, because they don't care about you when they're frustrated and struggling. They care about them and can this help them? So, I mean, they're nice people. They probably care about you too, but not when they're reading that post, okay? So the second thing, the little red here, share personal info. What I mean by that, and it had to be short to fit, is this is a great month to let people get to know you. Like, talk about some of your holiday traditions. The point of sharing your life on social media is to create points of connection because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. If you say something and they're like, me too. Today, for example, I was chatting with a lady that is pregnant, and I said, oh, and she was saying she was still feeling really sick. And I said, oh my goodness, girl, I was nauseous 24/7, but I never threw up. And she's like, oh, me too. That's exactly what I'm dealing with. Okay. I just made a connection because she has the same problem I did. And so now she automatically feels more connected and more trusting of me because she feels seen and she feels similar to me. There's a C.S. Lewis quote that's my absolute favorite. Friendship is born at that moment when you say, what? Me too? I thought I was the only one. I didn't get it exactly right, but it's that point of people see that they're not the only one. Okay. So I don't care what your Christmas traditions are. I mean, I do because I care about you, but I really don't care what they are. If you share about them on social media, somebody is going to feel more connected to you because of it. And you're going to be seen as a real person. People buy from real people. Okay. So that's why this is a fantastic month to be sharing things about your life because there's lots of things that are interesting about your life this month that are just different than your normal everyday life because you got all the Christmas stuff going on. We're not going to go into that, but that's just my little tip for that. And finally, be active in your stories. You probably don't want to post about Plexus every day in your main feed. People might get tired of seeing that. Now, they may not see it anyway because people only 10% of people see what you post every day, but you can definitely post in your stories about Plexus every day. So, but that means you got to post personal stuff in your stories every day. So talk about stuff that's going on. If you have kids and they're dressing up for Christmas, post their Christmas dress up. That's cute. If you don't have kids or you don't have children at home, post about other things. Talk about your where you're going to shop. Talk about your wrapping paper. I mean, today I wanted to know like where people buy their wrapping paper. I probably should have asked that because that's something I want to know. If somebody had been posting about where they buy their wrapping paper, I would have been so excited to watch that story because I need to know where to buy wrapping paper. And I feel like I need to do a better job of getting my wrapping paper and the price and all. So anyway, but that's step one, okay? Step two is the big thing though. We want to make what we call a December 27th list. And this is how we're going to make that list. And this is how we're going to stay excited and hopeful all December long. You are going to hear a lot of people say, I can't until after the holidays. Maybe, but not until after the holidays. Check back with me after the holidays. Oh, I can't even think about anything until after the holidays. I'm not even going to care about what I eat until after the holidays. Okay. You're going to hear that in a billion different ways, and you're not going to be sad about it at all. You could be frustrated and like, I'm never going to sign anybody up, but no, because you're going to put them on your December 27th list. Why December 27th? Because that's after the holidays. And the 26th, they're still in the fog of like carbs and pie and stuff. Like they're still in the fog. It's still too close to Christmas. But the 27th, Christmas has moved on. 27th. So that's why we're making December 27th list. And everybody that tells you that they can't until after the holidays goes on this list. And you want to get as big a list as possible because then on December 27th, you're going to follow back up with them. And you're going to do it because you're a professional and you said you would. But you don't have to be depressed about the people that say not right now. Now, also, they might not say not until after the holidays. They might just say, oh, I can't right now. Guess what? That's when you can say something like, oh, I totally get it. The holidays are so crazy. I don't even have a second to think either. I'm making a list for people to check back with after Christmas. Can I put you on that list? I asked that question the other day, 2 days ago. They said, sure. Most people, if they're kind of interested, they're going to say you can put them on the list. Okay. So the goal is to get them on the list. And I've got a downloadable sheet for y'all that has that I'll show y'all in a minute. Okay. All right. So, but to get to that point, we're going to keep recruiting. We're going to keep posting, but posting is, I heard somebody say it's like a hand in a glove. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's like two things that go together. We go together, like, I don't know what it is, but two things that go together. Like, you got to have them together, okay? Like peanut butter and jelly. You got to have them together. Okay, so posting is one side and messaging or personal conversations is the other side. So we got to keep sending messages, but we're going to make it fun instead of stressful and instead of like just this other thing you got to do that's awful and you don't want to do it. Okay, so we're going to make it fun. But when you do it, you're still going to follow the recruiting system. Meredith has a recruiting flow chart. That's hard to say. It's like a tongue twister. I call it the 3-step recruiting process. Meredith calls it the recruiting flow chart. It's the same thing. It's find out what their goal is, send a story, ask them if they want to get started, address objections. Okay, same thing. When you get to, you're still going to follow that. And you're not just going to jump to, hey, do you want me to check with you after the holidays? No, you're still going to do all the normal stuff. You're still going to address any objections that they have. But when you get stuck, that's when you're going to say, hey, I'm making this list for after the holidays when people have time to think and are more interested in, their health. So, or that want to get on track for the new year. So why don't I just put you on that list? Is that okay? Then you do that. Okay. So here's the 3-step recruiting process. It's basically the flow chart. Share a story, ask if they can relate, ask if they want to see what they took, show pricing and show package and pricing. Okay. That's the normal 3-step process. It's in the flow chart. We're not going over that. Okay. And what we're going to do is to make it more fun during December, we're doing what I'm calling a story challenge. Instead of, if you want, you can still send your normal ask message all December if you want to. You don't have to change anything. But if you want to do something different, to shake it up a little and have some fun, you could send stories instead, because we know that stories sell, facts tell. So why not try sending a story? You can send a story and say, I saw the story and thought of you. I thought I would send it and see what you thought about it. I don't love that message that I wrote. It's basically, hey, I saw this story and I thought of you. I was wondering if you could relate at all. I was to this part, basically just say that. I said thought too many times in that message and I should have gone back and fixed it, but that's the gist, okay? And what I like to do is send the picture, send the shortened testimony. If it's a long testimony, make it shorter. All the words aren't super important, okay? Cut it down. You can take some artistic liberty. You don't have to put ellipses in there or anything. Just make it shorter. Send the picture, send the testimony, and say, hey, I saw this and I thought of you. Can you relate at all? Okay. Then you see what they say. And then if they say, yeah, or if they say, just see what they say and then kind of talk to them. If they say they can, then you say, what part of it can you relate to? That would be what interests them most. That would be what their issue is, okay? So you just say, what part of it can you relate to? This is also really good for people that you need to follow back up with. Actually, it's a wonderful way to follow back up. If you know what their pain point is, find a story, send that, say, hey, I saw this and it reminded me of how you were struggling with such and such. Can you relate to this? Then see what they say. Then you can say, awesome. Do you want to see what they took? Then you send them the pricing paragraph. Then they say yes or no. They probably say no because it's before the holidays. And you say, no problem. I can definitely follow up with you after the holidays. I know it's a super busy time, but I'm curious, other than that, other than it just being crazy, like, is there anything else keeping you from wanting, from trying this, because you're not going to try it till after the holidays, but is there anything else that, you're kind of skeptical about? You want to try to address as many objections before as you can. I'll show y'all that in a second too, but here is the super fun part of this. We are going to color, okay? We're going to color. It's going to be so fun. Every time you send a story, you get to color a tree. I don't even care what color you color your tree. You can color them different colors. You can make it pretty trees. And here's the deal. Like, your goal each day is to send one story. This page has like 28 stories on it because I think she gave them off, like, she said we don't have to send stories on the 25th and 26th because that's awkward and like cringe. But as the middle schooler who left would say. But I was waiting to see because he would be cringe that I said cringe. Oh, he is still here. Yep. He's hiding on the couch. Okay. So, but your goal is to send one story a day. That's what's not overwhelming. That's what's fun. Okay. And when you send that story, just kind of think about it and think, is there anybody else that I could send this story to? Like, one time I sent a story to a teacher and then I thought, I can send this story to some more teachers. Here's the cool thing. You can do one of two things with this. You can print off more sheets and just keep coloring trees for every story you send. The goal is to send about 100 if you can. But it's by starting with one a day and then seeing if you can send more. So you can color more trees if you want, or you can color a tree. And then if you send it to more than one person, you can start circling it. So you just put a circle around the tree. Somebody also said, well, what if you want to put ornaments on the tree? You know what? If you want to put ornaments on the tree, instead of circling it, you can totally put ornaments on the tree. But the trees are kind of small, so I'm not sure how you're going to draw ornaments on it. But whatever helps you keep track of the stories you send. But the goal is to tell yourself in your mind, all I have to do today is send one story. And that's all you have to do. And if that's all you do, that is enough. Okay? But after you send that one story, just ask yourself, is there anyone else I can send this story to? And if there is, send it to another person and circle, color another one, or draw some ornaments on there. You rather do that. And I'm going to give you all this sheet too. Okay. So here are some ideas of reasons that you could send stories. It could be any health issue. Any health issue can be a reason to send a story, okay? But also, so like bloating and cravings, I just put some of my main ones. Energy, pain, sleep. You'll notice I did not put weight loss. When I am just sending somebody a story, unless they told me weight loss, I'm not going to send a weight loss story. It's just smarter to do that, okay? You just want to focus on something else. Now, you will find that most of my stories do show weight loss in the pictures because 98% of women, including the ones that I think look like Barbie, think they need to lose weight. So they'll probably see it and think it, but I'm not going to say it unless they already told me. So those are some things that you could put on there. Okay. But you could also send a story about the biz. Some people, if you see somebody that has a kid that's in dance or in soccer or in travel ball or whatever, or in drama or in cheer, like, you can send a story about activity money. You can send a story about a stay-at-home mom. You can send a story about, because some of you don't have children, or you have children, but they're grown children. You can send a story about other people in college if you're in college. You can send a story about saving for retirement. You could send a story about the community. Okay, so it doesn't have to just be health, it can be business. Now, you can also send stories by age group. You may not know what struggles they have, but guess what? If they're in college, they need energy and focus. Probably the same if they're like in a professional career and they're like either what do they call them? Dinks, double income households, double incomes with no kids. Like, I wanted to make you see that you could have different groups. Like, they need energy and focus. And probably because I thought I was busy before I had kids. I don't know what I was doing, but also moms of littles. You know what moms of littles struggle with. pretty much if they're a mom of little, they struggle with the same thing. So you know how to send them a story. Working moms, same. If they're in perimenopause or menopause, it's kind of the same. You can share stories that have to do with both because it's just hormone balance. And you can pretty much guess if they're from 45 to 55, they're dealing with that. Okay. So that's just a way to guess on a story that might be relatable. And finally, everybody needs immune support. Everybody needs energy. Everybody needs a healthy gut. And then like fit people, they still need help too. So there's a way to send stories to everybody. And I just wanted you to see some different ideas. And we're running out of time, so I'm almost done. I would say if you want to be super productive and have better chance of getting them signed after the holidays, before you put them on your list, say something like this. I know things are so busy, I'll totally message you after the holidays. Just out of curiosity though, if it weren't Christmas time right now and you did have more time to think, is there anything else in the way of you getting started? I know you're not going to. I know you're going to wait until after the holidays, but is there anything else holding you back? And I spelled that perfectly, so that's great. So that's just an idea. And actually, I have a board for you guys with some example stories and all three of these messages. So you do not have to write them down. Finally, then you will message them some iteration of this. Oh my goodness, how was your Christmas? I hope you had some great family time and not too much hustle and bustle. I would not probably say that. I'm going to change the wording a little. I just shared her wording. Make it sound like you. I know you said to message you after the holidays, and here we are. I wanted you to be able to get started on the goals we talked about earlier. Tell me where you're at with getting started. You can ask anything. That's just an open-ended question to see what they're thinking. You can ask that in different ways. But the point is to message them. Final thoughts, and then we're done. We're going to end on time. Your thoughts about December will create your feelings about December. And your feelings about December will create your actions for December. So ask yourself, what thoughts do you want to have about December? Really, what results do you want to have in December? And work backwards to, you have to have the right action. So you got to choose the positive, excited thoughts. And I just want you to know that I was thinking back through it, and every jewel I could think of started in the fall or winter. And so people are interested in the business in this time of the year. And there are people that have, people that have ranked up in December. So if somebody can rank up in December, anybody can rank up in December. So you get to choose what thoughts you want to have about December. So choose good ones and join us, party with us, color with us, and send stories. All right, I am done with that. Let's see. I'm going to stop my share, but also I should have shown y'all this in boards. I'll just tell y'all if it'll go to it. It's freezing right now. In boards, I know some of you have another call that you need to hop on. So I am almost done. In boards, under Team Abundant Life, I need to show y'all this again. Okay, hold on. Let me get it back. In boards, under Team Abundant Life, just show you real fast, and then we're done and people can hop off. They do under recruiting system. I put a folder, so it'll open at the bottom, stories to use for messaging. It's at the bottom. I put the messages to go with stories here. That's the 3 messages that were in the PowerPoint. You can modify them. And then I just put some of my favorite stories that relate to some of those things, like I put on the list for you guys, and we can add more, but that was just a place to get you started, because I know one of my issues when I'm sending stories is I overthink which story to send. So I thought if I just give y'all some stories, you have a good place to start. And if you find good stories, share them with us. We'll add some to that, and then we'll just all, grow together. So that's it. I'm done. Does anybody have any questions?
That was awesome. Thank you, Aubrey.
I hope it was helpful.
It's a shift in mindset, right? Like it's choosing to look at this differently and to see all of the positives that come in December. And I love the phrase that she's used when she's talked about this of gamifying it, right?
Yes.
Like I'm going to make it a game, and I'm going to see how many Christmas trees can I get colored in, right? And so like the reason why that matters is that your brain learns more When it's in game mode, right? That's why teachers use games all the time when they're teaching their students, is because your brain is just more receptive to learning and growth when it's in game mode. But you're also going to be more successful when you look at it as a game. Right. And so how many Christmas trees can we get filled up? Right. Can we get the whole sheet filled up? Can we get the whole sheet filled up twice? That's my goal. Right. I
Yeah.
want to send all the stories because I want to be the person that they're coming to on December 26th, 27th, when Christmas is over and their stretchy pants aren't quite stretchy enough. And they're looking at their New Year's Eve goals and they're thinking, wait a second, who was that girl that was sharing about that health stuff? Like, I want to be the one that they come to. And the way for that to happen is for us to show up consistently right now. Right. And so we keep showing up with confidence, trusting the system, knowing that it's coming. And so I think gamifying it is a really great way to do that. I love that. Thank you, Aubrey.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Love you guys. Y'all got
Love you.
stuff to do.
Next week is the team Christmas party. We'll reshare the graphic on that. So that is next week. And then the following week is week of Christmas. So we will not meet. The last week of the month, I know my team will probably do a power hour.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what you guys are thinking too,
Yeah.
because we're going to have all of those messages to respond to from all of these Christmas tree stories that we're sending. So that's the game plan. We love you guys. We'll see you next week for the party.
Yep. I just dropped oh, I've got hearts. I just dropped the documents in the 2 chats, so everybody should have them. Let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Aubrey.
She might not have it if she's not in Christine, your new Christine, or whoever said she was. Yes, she might not have it. Somebody make sure she gets it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye, guys.
Night.
Oh, yep, Christine, you can, are you still here? Nope. I'll tell Meredith. We'll do that.